Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. I'm not going to read through the full article here. I'm going to give you an overview about the topic that's discussed within this article, but also I'm going to touch on some other incidences which are very much aligned with the same topic. I need to mention that this article was published about a week ago, so I am very slow in going over this. However, unless you live in England, unless you live in the United Kingdom, you probably won't be aware of this, and perhaps you're interested in what's going on within the UK government, with the politicians. And let me tell you, it's pretty seedy. There's a link in the description. Did I mention that? So I'll give an overview to begin with. Essentially, one of the politicians within the United Kingdom government has been arrested on suspicion of rape and sexual assaults in regards to a number of incidences taken place between 2002 and 2009. A report was made to police in 2020. A 2 year police probe was carried out, and at this point in time, they've arrested one politician. Now, for certain reasons, the name of that politician has not been released. So we do know a few things about who it could possibly be. We know that they're a part of the Conservative Party. So in England, there are two major political parties. You have Labour, which is generally considered left wing by and large, and you have the Conservative Party, which is generally considered right wing by and large. And so we do know that the politician which has been arrested on suspicion of rape and sexual assault is from the Conservative Party. We also know that they're a backbencher. I'll give you my layman's definition of what a backbencher is, but it's not going to be fully accurate. But in essence, it means that they're not a prominent politician. They're not a minister of a key department. They perhaps just look after their constituency. They've been voted in by their local area constituents, but don't really have too much power beyond that. They would vote on major bills and such, but they're not going to be heavily involved with the forming of major policy. That's my take on it. It could be slightly wrong, but a backbencher. We also know that it is a man, and we also know that they are in their 50s. But beyond that, we don't know who the Conservative Party politician that has been arrested following a 2 year probe and arrested on suspicion of rape and sexual assault. We don't know who it is. Now, the other Conservative Party politicians aren't particularly pleased about that. Why? Well, because they worry that members of the public, members of the media, are going to view them as being the person that's been arrested on suspicion of sexual assault and rape. So that's the general general complaint from the other politicians. Seems a little bit silly to me because the person that has been arrested has been in custody. So we can read through a little bit further details in regards to this. Scotland Yard said the suspect was arrested on suspicion of indecent assault, sexual assault, rape, abusive position of trust, and misconduct in public office. The offences are alleged to have occurred in London. An investigation is ongoing, led by officers from Central Specialist Crime, and again, the Conservative Party politician or MP remains in custody, or certainly as of last week. So that's what this article is about. But I'm going to mention a couple of other things. Here's this article here, which I may make a separate video on. I'm not sure. Ex-Tory politician has been jailed for 18 months for sexually assaulting a 15-year-old boy. This is a different guy. Okay, so Tory means a member of the Conservative Party. So this is this guy here. His name is Imran Ahmad Khan. He is no longer a politician or no longer a part of the Conservative Party, but he's been jailed. I won't go through the full details here, but in essence, he's been jailed for 18 months for sexually assaulting a 15-year-old boy. Okay. I'm going to throw in there 18 months. Is that all? Why only 18 months? Is sexually assaulting a 15-year-old boy, is that not that much of a problem? I mean, to me, it ought to be longer than that. But yeah, so, this is a separate guy. This is not the backbencher in their 50s that's been arrested on suspicion of rape and sexual assault. This is a different guy. And then the article mentions a couple of other situations, so we'll have a look through that. Around 50 politicians are said to have been referred to Parliament's authorities over sex assault claims. Over 50 politicians are facing sex assault claims. I don't know how many politicians there are in the British government. Perhaps I should have looked that up. My guess would be hundreds. I don't know, maybe the number's like 600, maybe 600 or less, I would think. So 50 is a lot. Why are there 50 politicians in England that have got sex assault claims made against them? Why is that a thing? In 2020, former Conservative Party politician Charlie Elphicke was sentenced to 2 years in prison after being found guilty of 3 counts of sexual assault against 2 women. Sentenced. So again, I could question the length of that. 2 years, why so little? I don't know the full details there, but these are just too many politicians in England have got sexual assault claims against them. Too many of them have been jailed. They've been found guilty. Last year, ex-Labour politician Mike Hill resigned after a former parliamentary worker alleged he sexually harassed and bullied her over a 16-month period, groping her and rubbing himself against her. So, I don't know. To me, it's weird. Why are there so many politicians in England within the United Kingdom government, parliament? Why are they having these sexual assault claims made against them? Why are they facing trial and then being found guilty and then being jailed? I mean, what's going on? I mean, I'm considered somewhat of a conspiracy theorist to a degree by some. For some of us, if we do hold these governments with a very, if we look at the governments of the world through a very negative prism, if we're very skeptical of them, if we think that there's all kinds of cover-ups, corruptions going on, and sexual misdeeds, if that's what we think, I mean, there is that conspiracy theorist, theory rather, which I perhaps shouldn't say on YouTube, but it's what is it? It's Hot Dog Gate, something like that. Slightly different to that. Hot Dog Gate, Burger Gate. Was it Burger Gate? You got that, with a certain takeaway fast food outlet, allegedly being used for the mistreatment of children. I'm being purposefully vague. With notable US politicians being potentially involved in nefarious deeds against children. That's a conspiracy theory. Do I believe it? I believe it to be possible. Do I believe it? Perhaps not, because I've not seen compelling evidence or such, but I believe it to be possible. And, when I read an article here that tells me multiple different MPs and indeed 50 MPs, politicians, have been accused of sexual assault, several of them have been jailed following a trial of sexual assault and or rape. What's my takeaway? My takeaway is, there's something going on. That's rampant. 50 are facing sexual assault claims. As I say, I don't know what the number of politicians in England is. My guess is around the 600 mark. So that's give or take 10%. a little less than 10%, but that's way too many people. 50. And these are supposed to be our leaders, remember? These are politicians. These are the people that are supposed to be making our laws, governing us, etc., etc., and then give or take 10% of them are facing sexual assault claims. There's something going on which I'm not happy with. That's my takeaway from this. Anyway, I guess I'll wrap things up at this point. Um, Perhaps I'll make a video in regards to this situation here. Ex-Tory MP jailed for 18 months for sexually assaulting a 15-year-old boy. Not sure if I will make a video on that, but perhaps I will. Yeah, guys in the UK government, can you sort yourselves out? Stop sexually assaulting people.